Have you ever thought about what it means to live in the present moment? What if our present is just one perspective of a matrix of possibilities? What if time itself isn't linear? Rather, what if it's stationary and we're the ones moving through it? Let's start with a story. It's 1905, and a young man sits at his desk working as a clerk in Switzerland. However, he's not very good at his job. His mind always seems to be somewhere else. He's constantly distracted. In reality, he's thinking about light, space, and time. That man is none other than 26-year-old Albert Einstein. In May of the same year, he publishes 4 groundbreaking papers which introduce our world to the concept of special relativity. Fast forward to more than a century later, and his theory remains by far the most pivotal in modern physics, allowing us to pursue space travel and shaping the world we live in now. Einstein's theory introduced the concept of a 4-dimensional fabric where, rather than existing as a separate quantity, time was actually woven into space, thus coining the term space-time. Imagine space-time as a sort of fabric. If I place a heavy mass on that fabric, it will bend it inwards. Similarly, heavy masses like our sun and black holes also bend the fabric of space-time inwards. Now, if I roll a marble of very little mass onto that fabric with the heavier mass, it will follow a sort of circular path around that object. Similarly, smaller masses like our planets follow orbits around our sun. But here's the catch. In Einstein's world, time isn't absolute or fixed. Rather, it stretches and compresses. Yes, time stretches and compresses based on how fast you're moving or how close you are to a massive object. That is why we say it's relative. In modern physics, we call this time dilation. It's the reason why astronauts aboard the International Space Station experience time slightly slower than we do. The difference is tiny, but it's very real. They're aging slightly slower than we are. So this proves that time isn't a universal constant. It's not just the ticks of a clock. Rather, it's relative. But pause. What does any of this have to do with the idea of simultaneous realities? Now, I'm transporting you from 1905 to 2 centuries later. Enter the year 2100. Humanity has created the technology to send us to the very farthest ends of our solar system. An astronaut and his twin brother are now saying their final goodbyes. The astronaut is to embark on what is most probably the greatest and most ambitious space mission in all of human history. His journey will last him a devastatingly long time, 25 Earth years. But something quite strange happens. When the astronaut returns, everybody notices that after a quarter of a century, his face hasn't changed one bit. In fact, he looks exactly the same. Not to mention, his twin brother from 25 years ago now looks like his new dad. That is the power of time dilation. It's the reason why spending 1 week at the farthest ends of our solar system can amount to months or even years here on Earth. But although he's aged, the one on Earth, the twin brother, he's lived, he's experienced. He's laughed, he's met new people. He might have given a TED Talk. But while the astronauts' contributions were significant to scientific developments, it's the one on Earth, the one integrated into the people around him who truly lived, who experienced. And it serves as a reminder that time, no matter how fast it elapses, is best spent with the people you love. Ladies and gentlemen, with the people you love and the experiences you share. The twin brothers shared an identical material body, but upon returning to Earth, the astronaut found himself a stranger, completely stuck in the past. So it teaches us that although giving your life to the people around you, no matter how held back you may be, is worth it. It makes your life meaningful. Okay, now let's leave the psychological part. Let's now layer in a second theory, one that comes from the very interesting field of quantum mechanics. If classical physics describes the big stuff, planets, cars, and falling apples, quantum mechanics dives into the microscopic world of particles. And here, time behaves very, very strangely. Particles don't follow set linear paths. Rather, consider Schrödinger's famous thought experiment. A cat in a box with a mechanism that could either kill it or leave it alive. But until you open that box, the cat is both alive and both dead. Let's pause here and think about this more tangibly. Have you ever made a decision and wondered, what if I'd chosen differently? Man, I had to choose differently. Why did I choose what I chose? Quantum mechanics suggests that you did choose differently. In fact, you chose all the possible choices available, all of which led to different realities and different outcomes, which are playing out alongside this one, but they're inaccessible to us. Now, let's bring back Einstein's relativity for a moment. Imagine watching a movie on a Saturday night. You're cozy, you're eating popcorn. You notice that you can fast forward, you can rewind, you can pause. The entire movie already exists. Similarly, in the universe model that obeys relativity, the past, the present, and the future all exist on the same space-time fabric, which means that your future and your past are existing simultaneously to your present. Wow. What does all of this mean for the concept of simultaneous realities in the multiverse? Dear audience, it means that we're just scratching the surface of understanding. It means that the times we spend right now may ripple through dimensions that we can't even begin to fathom. And it means that the universe is far more intricate and far, far more beautiful than we'll ever imagine it to be. All of this takes me back to an 80-year-old me, sat covered up in blankets, staring at the pictures of the most influential scientists of the time. You may call me a nerd and all, but their suits, their ties, and most importantly, their work sparked an element inside of me that previously had been severed. The element of curiosity. The feeling that no matter how far you go, no matter how fast you do it, there's always something, somewhere, that you know absolutely nothing of. It is simply put this way: no matter how far humanity advances, there's always something, somewhere. Our universe, our galaxies, our planets hold something that we know completely nothing of. At the end, it is our ambition, our courage, our drive, and most importantly, our curiosity that propels us forward. As we stand on the edge of these profound mysteries, one thing becomes crystal clear. Our understanding of our universe, our understanding of reality is just the beginning. The universe implores you today, dear audience. Question, challenge, explore, wonder. And who knows, perhaps the key to simultaneous realities isn't out there in the stars, but right here, right now, in the connections we create, the times we share, and the infinite possibilities we dare to dream. I thank you for your time.